ago. And today my topic is illustrating the ancestor flower shape of Clade Corytholoma in genus Sinningia. An introduction. High flower diversity in Clade Corytholoma of genus Sinningia. We can look the side view of each species, so we can know their shapes are different. So the evolution of interspecific flower shape diversity is an attractive issue. And phylogenetic tree provide the relationship in Sinningia, genus Sinningia. In 2007, so in 2007, we can know the relationship in each species. So, objective is to reconstruct the purity and central flower shape in 3-dimensional, and to construct 3D image of the eastern flowers, and to describe the flower shape by their mass. So how to achieve this goal is some summarize of work chart. So first, we collected flower specimen and image across position, then image improvement, then landmark identification like this picture, and geometric morphometrics, and we use generalized properties analysis. And finally, we reconstruct ancestral shape. So, flower material preparation, a total 10 Sinningia species and 3 flower specimens were collected from each species, and some of them are from different individuals. The specimens were prepared in fresh or 70% ethanol solution. The table shows the state of specimens. And the pictures, there are 2 pictures, and one is the specimen in ethanol solution, and the other is in fresh. And some of specimens in fresh because their tissue were too fragile to be kept in ethanol solution. And image acquisition. Imaging was scanned by using micro CT. We put the specimens in chamber of micro CT, and we can get slice image. And there are base of chamber in slice image, so we need to remove. And image contrast adjusting. And just holding to remove noise. And range labeling. Finally scanning. And we can, after summary of image processing, we can get all slice image and then get the 3-dimensional image. So we use 3-dimensional image, use landmark identification, and landmark were categorized primary landmarks and secondary landmarks. And primary landmarks are the intersection of adjacent lobes like point 1 and point 2. and the endpoint of petal mirror like 0.3 and 0.6, and the boundary points of lobe and tube on the mirror like 0.4, and the distal point of the boundary of two single petals like 0.5 and 0.7. And secondary landmarks are equally distributed points on the contour between two primary landmarks. Geometry morphometry. We use generalized properties analysis to remove various irregular to shape. And we can look the picture. There are two flowers, and after transition, their centers are the same. And then rotation and scaling. So to remove information irrelevant. And extent flower shape of each species is the mean shape of 3 specimens after GPA. So we put extent flower shape on phylogenetic tree. So how to obtain the ancestral flower shape? So we use generalized linear model and variance covariance matrix represent the relationship between all of them in phylogenetic tree. For example, like this, there is a phylogenetic tree, and A to E are the extant species, and input data is of A is 5, and B is 2, and C is 6, and D is 8, and E is 4. So we can use branch length to obtain the variance covariance matrix. So we can get evolution of flower shape. We can look this picture. There are 3 points on this picture. One is there are 2 species are close from root, so their flower shape are similar. And the branch length of Biosystems and Fuchsia, their branch lengths are more longer, so their flower shape are more different. Their common ancestral flower shape. And third, we can look all the picture. The most of flower shape, the their shape are straight and narrow, but we can look Biosystems and Barbata. They have a curved tube, but the ancestral flower shape are not displayed. So conclusion, this study to show a method to demonstrate the flower shape on an ancestral state for genus Sinningia. And ancestral flower shape was reconstructed by combining phylogenetic tree, generalized linear model, and the landmarks of extant flower shape. So thanks for your listening.
Thank you, Ms. Chou, for your presentation. You have a pretty short presentation, so we have plenty of time for questions. Do we have any questions? Yes, Professor.
Thank you, very interesting. And I'm Shibusawa. Okay. The question is, how did you get the sample shape of flowers? Test data. So you deal with the shape data of the flower to using some software. My question is, how do you get the shape data from you collecting your own from the field, or you just ask or some organizations? I'm not sure.
Can you say again? Sorry.
Here, the sample data. Sample.
So how do you acquire those flowers? Where do you acquire those flowers? Are you getting them from the field or from breeder?
Oh.
We breed them in Taiwan University farmhouse. Greenhouse.
Greenhouse. You planted a different field, or you ask a breeder?
I know you plant those in a greenhouse, but before that, where do you get those flowers?
Genus Sinningia plant original in South America. So we buy the sand from them.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Any other question, please? So I got a question for you. How do you think that your research can be applied to the field of agriculture? It looks to me that actually I'm a dual advisor, so I would say that your research is more like bioengineer side, because you try to find the ancestor of those existing flowers and how they look like. But how do you think that your research can be applied to agricultural side? Yes, I mean, so from like agricultural point of view, like people will be interested in flowers of different shapes, and they have their commercial values, right? But you're not working on this kind of topic now. You are, in contrast, you are working on a topic that is more related to the phylogenetic tree and like the history of the flowers. But your results, in actually very interesting, also can be used to like, I'm going to give the answer almost, like breed new flowers or things like that, and you can estimate their shape if you know their, if you know enough about their genetic background. Like, how do you think that the research can be applied?
We get evolution of Sinningia flower shape, and if we have their genome or genotype on phylogenetic tree, and we can know what the genome to influence the what kind of shape, and so we can get we want the shape or color.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you again, Ms. Chou,